Take what God gave you, honor the investment, go after it. Who cares if they say no? Because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is God's yes, and that's what it is with me.
Yeah. You are Black in the Green Room with me, your host, Keith Underwood. And this is your spot for real talk about entertainment with entertainers, creatives, and showbiz professionals. My guest today's path from division football to a rising presence in beauty and black is rooted in reinvention, faith, and purpose. Today, we go beyond the credits to explore the mindset behind his journey and the vision shaping what's next. Welcome to the room, Julian Horton. What's up, man?
What's up, brother? How you doing? How you doing?
Doing real good, man. How about you?
I'm doing good. I'm blessed. Another day, and yeah, man, we just living.
That's right. That's right. That's right. It looks like you're in your where are you at today?
In my house, my condo in Atlanta.
Nice, nice, nice. Very good, man. Very good. So you've lived so many multiple lives already. You've been an athlete, you've been an artist, an actor. When you look at all those chapters, what through line do you now recognize that connects all of them together?
I would say that's a good question. I would just say the faith and resilience.
Hmm.
That's the one that connects all three of them together. I think that I was given a purpose when I was a young kid, and I think that ever since I was a young kid, I've been just trying to honor God's investment, and what He's given me, and I've been just trying to utilize everything He's given me in which way, and try to funnel everything. So basically, let's say like we got in sports, I just funnel that into the acting, and then the acting, I funnel that into the music. But it takes faith and resilience to do that, though, and I think that's the through line that really connects all three, because it's like in this world, especially in this world, we're racing against time.
Hmm.
We're competing against people's projections. We're competing against our own projections of fear. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you have to have faith. You have to have resilience to really lock in and go after the things you really want in this world. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have dreams. A lot of people have things they wanted to do when they were small, and
Mm.
I made sure that it really was make it or make it to me. That's a quote in my house, make it or make it. There's really no other option. So I think once you believe that, and once you have the faith to back that up and have the resilience to take the action, I think that's the through line that connects everything. And that's allowed me to be here today.
Hmm. Has that faith always been a part of your life?
Yes, it has, to be honest. It really has. It started when I was young, but it's not like I was like it's just more of a spiritual thing that where I think that like we all
Mm.
come from something. I think we all come from somebody. I think that this world is too great and too perfectly created, and it's just me. I'm a guy that's always been kind of like logical in the sense of like, why wouldn't I tap into the Most High? You know what I'm saying? And why wouldn't I get the Most High's help? Why wouldn't I get the Most High's um protection and favor? Why wouldn't I go to him about everything, since he is the king? You know what I'm saying? And it's not really even a religious thing, it's more just of a truth thing, and then once you like build that relationship with him, you see how great he is, and see the spiritual, I would say the spiritual just opening and awakening that he arises within you, and then you see like, okay, dang, he really is real for real. And it's like, why would I go against him or try to go the opposite way? And then yeah, of course we're all gonna falter. We're human beings, we're gonna make mistakes, we're gonna get off the path at times, but it's just like having that foundation and knowing that Yeshua slash Adonai God is with me. It's like it gives me the constant joy and the constant just fulfillment that I don't have to chase anything. It's the constant
Mm.
joy of knowing that even if I don't make it to where I want to be, I still have the greatest thing I can receive in this life. It gives me the constant joy to know that like he's really all that matters at the end of the day. We're all chasing things in this life. We all have these desires we want. We all have, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this. But at the end of the day, we all have an expiration date. And
That's right.
it's gonna be, when you came into this world by yourself, you're gonna leave by yourself. And it's like it's gonna be you and the creator that one day when you leave this earth. And it's like, what did you do? You know what I'm saying? To honor his investment. And that's why that's my purpose in life, is really just to honor his investment. Yes, of course, I like the other things that come with life. I love having fun. I love having a good time. I like having friends and living the bonuses that he gets us to have. But I think it's really always been a foundational thing to me that's like, okay, bet I got these tools, I got these gifts, I got these purpose feelings that I have. It's like I got to utilize it. You know what I'm saying? God don't make mistakes. So my gift back to God is to use the gifts He gave me. So that's what it is.
All right. So a lot of people they talk about reinvention, but you've actually lived it. So what have you had to unlearn about yourself to fully step into each version of yourself?
Things I've had to unlearn. That's a good question. I guess the thing that I've unlearned is just like kind of have a control on
Mm-hmm.
everything. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think that you set yourself up for failure and disaster that way. I think that sometimes me, I've always had a vision of where I wanted to be at a certain age, or a vision of what I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to do when I did this, and vision. And it's like, you know, there's no such thing really as losses to me. You know what I'm saying? And I think just
Right.
I thought there were losses when I was younger and things. I'm like, dang, I didn't get it when I did this. I didn't do this. What the heck's going on? Da, 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 why am I going through this? And it's like, yeah, you got to stop thinking you're in control, because you're not. Your
Mm-hmm.
job is to control what you can control and leave the rest up to God. So it's like, that's one thing I really had to unlearn, because it's like I said, time's undefeated. Like, I got this part at 33 years old. I've been acting since I was like 24, 25 now. And then I played
Right.
football from 7 to 24. You know what I'm saying? So that's like a 27-year span of like just grinding and hustling, and then having in my mind, like, yo, I know I'm one of them dudes. I know I'm one of them ones. I know I can be one of the greats. And that's what I've been thinking since I was a kid. Damn, it's taking long. And it's like,
Mm.
and you see your counterparts and you see other people get certain things. And I've never been an envious dude. I've never been a jealous dude. I've always wanted to see people win. I've never been an envious dude, because I've always been so confident and confident in what God has given me. But it's like, damn, it's taking a long time. And then you see the way the
Right.
world is and how saturated it is and what the world cares about, and how they kind of less care about talent, more care about the bullshit. Less care about this,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, am I ever going to have the opportunity to showcase this? So I think that's what I had to unlearn, though, because I say, you know what? Instead of trying to control everything and worry about this and do this, I'm just going to control what I can control, not worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Pray about everything, and just continue to work and continue to
Yeah.
grind. And then and I have it subconsciously in my mind that already, like, hey, you know that one on ones, you can do this, you can do this at a high level. You just keep working. You just keep working. And you just keep working. You just keep having faith. You keep working. And that's what I told myself. And then eventually, subconsciously, I think that you don't put pressure on things anymore. And
Mm-hmm.
then that's where I kind of like really start understanding the concept of like, okay, God is the greatest thing you can receive in this life. And I've told myself that. And I'm like, you know what? That took the pressure off everything, because I'm like, you know what? Why am I tripping for? I'm trying to get all this. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do this. I'm like, bro, you already got the greatest thing in the world. Because at the end of the day, it's like you can get the cars, you can get the house, you can get the money, you can get the girls, you can get this, that, and the third. But it's still, this doesn't compare to God. So once you understand that in your philosophy and your mindset, it's like the pressure kind of diminishes a little bit. Because, you know what? I'm just going to keep working, do whatever happens, happens. And then you
Right.
start seeing, when you stop putting that pressure on things,
Mm-hmm.
subconsciously, the universe kind of like coerces the things that you do want and the desires that you do want subconsciously, because you're not putting so much pressure on it. You start to think that you start to like realize you're starting to get things quicker and easier, because you're
Yeah.
not pushing it
It
away.
it forces you to kind of reinforce your faith.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
definitely does. And that's just one thing I've learned, is just like, hey, I can only control what I can control. Let God handle the rest. And like I said, work my butt off. And then, and that's one thing I really just had to unlearn. And that's one that, and I'm still learning that, what I'm saying, as I go through life. Even now, being on Beauty and Black, it's like, okay, now what's next? I want to control the next move. It's like, just keep working, bro.
Yeah.
And that's really where I'm at with it, for real. So that definitely would say, just like that, control would be that for sure.
Yeah. I've noticed a lot of that competitiveness and that need for control from a lot of athletes. Would you
Yes,
agree with that? And where do you think
definitely.
that comes from?
I think it just comes from just like, I think being a competitor is, that's obviously, especially in the when you're playing football and basketball, whatever. It's like being a competitor, that involves ego, that involves
Yeah.
pride, because you're always competing from a young age. I've been competing since I was 4 years old, 5 years old. My mom put me in basketball at 5 years old. Mom put me in football at 7 years old. So it's like you're learning to compete from a young age. And it's like, who's the
Hmm.
best? the
Right, right.
best. And so you learn that young. It's like, so you're like kind of like your self worth is dependent on that. Like, I gotta be the best. I gotta be. So it's like you're obsessed with the control of being the best or doing whatever you need to do to get a leg up on somebody or get a. No, I was just saying like the athletic part of it. It's just like you learn from a young age. The prideful and the ego is activated at a young age because you're learning to compete at 5, 6, 7 years old. That's when I started playing sports. So it's like you're doing everything you can to get the leg up. I'm doing certain things like I got to be the best. I got to be wanted. I got to be desired to be the number one in this position and things of that nature. And like I said, like you start learning quickly though. Yo, you can't really you can carry that mentality, but sometimes that
Mm-hmm.
mentality might lead you into more disappointment because at the end of the day, it's like when you get into the real world, you're dealing with a lot of politics and things that you can't control. There might be someone you might be doing all these things trying to get a job. You might try to be doing all these things to get a position, and then the person that gets position just knows their family friends. So it's just like
Mm.
you start learning, like, hey, bro, I'm gonna do what I do and trusting God, and yeah, and I think. But yeah, going back to that, what you just said, I think it just happens with athletes because you just learn at a young age that we got to compete. You know what I'm saying? No, I ain't want to ride the bench. I ain't doing that. So
Right,
it's
right,
like I
right.
learned quickly. I want to be a starter. I want to be the star player. So that's what you learn. Like I said, the pride and the ego, you start unlearning those things as you get older because as you get older, you go through life and you start seeing that a lot of lessons have to be learned to get you to become a better person. And I just think that, yeah, that's one of the things that, you have to really just battle with as an athlete and as a
Mm-hmm.
competitor. And then you have to just, still have the competitive edge, but do it in a more healthy way. And that's what I've learned as I've gotten older.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a big difference between chasing visibility and building something that's meaningful. How are you defining success for yourself right now and beyond roles and recognition?
What I'm trying to do right now is it goes back to the honoring God's investment thing. I think more so, especially in today's world, it is a popular contest ass world, we're living in and things of that nature. Everyone has social media. Everyone thinks of the main character of their life. Everyone is doing this. And for me, it's more so, man, like I said, it goes back to honoring those investments because it's like if you people who study me or people who watch me, it's like they'll see that I'm very active on social media. They'll see that I'm very
Mm-hmm.
active in the streets. And so I'm very active with the people. It's because since a young age, I never really cared for like man-made praise and things of that nature.
Mm.
I really didn't give a shit about that. I was more so like, yo, man, what's God doing? Like man-made stuff is man-made. You know what I'm saying? And it can bust your head up and blow your head up to a place where it's not real. We all human beings at the end of the day. So it's like for me, I just want to honor God's investment and to know that I'm doing my best with the gifts He's given me. And that's all that matters to me. I don't care about the fame. I don't care about the money. I just want to be respected for the talent that He's given me. And if I'm doing that, I'm doing my job. Because everything else is man made. The cars is man made. The houses is man made. The girls is God made. But if you get too much, you're going crazy. So it's like it's everything else is man made. That's all stuff that we use to kind of be superior and be pretentious in a way. So it's like I really don't care about none of that. I just want to act my ass off, and it's so crazy because it's like what's worth more than a car, what's worth more than jewelry, what's worth more than a lot of tangible materialistic things we get in this life is when someone says, "Bro, you did a great job of the acting." So
Right, right, right. Yeah.
because not only is it I'm getting praised, it's like I feel like God made do of his investment. Like I gave you, okay, bet you did what you needed to do with that. And that is what I feel and what I like about what's going on right now in my life right now. And so yeah, of course I'm gonna continue to keep honoring those investments. So with that comes more visibility because I'm gonna keep knocking down doors. But yeah, that's really just what it is. I just want to be respected and just be respected for what I'm doing and stuff. That's really it.
Yeah, yeah. And then also, like you were saying, using those talents that you
Yeah,
were blessed with, because if you don't, if they say, if you don't use it, you lose it.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, you're also a music producer and creative. When you're creating outside of acting, what are you able to express there that you can't always express through a script?
I think it's the freedom. The freedom is the biggest thing. I think that I love both things so much. I love acting so much because it allows me just to get it allows me to get the Julian Horton side of me. And when I'm on, I love his playing. I love Hollywood. I love acting. I love this craft so much, and I just love being on front of the camera. I love entertaining. I love stepping into these stories and being these characters. But the music thing is cool. And it's different than acting because acting obviously is a script. It is written for you. When music is
Right.
freedom, you can take it to places that you don't even know. I make a beat today. I don't know what I'm gonna make today. To act and I get a script. I know Roy Bellarie. I know this nigga's vicious. He's crazy. He's nuts. It's not gonna be really that different any other day. You know what I'm saying? You get that script, you get the temperament of that character, you get his spiritual side, yeah, this is him. But with music, I love the freedom and creativity you can go with. You can just create anything. And it's like to have these studio sessions and have sessions with my boys and stuff and with my label and stuff like that, and to see the things that we can come up with. It's just like it's really a spiritual experience because it's
Hmm.
just so rewarding once you come up with something that's actually fulfilling and it makes your spirit and your frequency rise up and makes the goosebumps come up on your arms. It's like it's a definitely rewarding experience, and both of them are different. But yeah, I definitely would say just like that's a creative outlet that I love very very much so too.
Hmm. Yeah. How long have you been doing music, and how did you kind of progress in your career in music?
I've been doing music since I was a kid for real, but it's like always been something that's always been like hobby esque.
Hmm.
Um, because my mom got me a keyboard. I was 7 years old, 6 years old, and I've been
Wow.
playing on it like for the longest. So I always
Yeah,
knew like
she was really fostering a lot of different things in you.
yes, skip
Yeah.
two, yes, for
Yeah.
damn sure. My mother is yes, and we talked about that. We actually talked about that the other day. She was just like, yeah, because she knew she saw
Hmm.
something in me. Okay, he has something, so let me continuously keep giving him things and let his creative outlet, be used. But yeah, with music, I've been started at 6, 7 years old, and then it just like that's went to garage band in high school, and then just like we had a studio in college, and I just got better and better and better and better and better and better and better, and then to this point
Hmm.
where I can finally have the resources to really do some stuff because I was always getting better in the darkness, you know what I'm saying? And so then when it's time to get to the light, I was prepared. So it's just I've been doing it for a long time. It's really in my blood. I've just yeah, man, I just love the music for sure.
Hmm. Hmm. What is music? What does it do for you?
I would say music that's for me is just you talking about general producing or just in general?
No, in general, for your spirit, for your soul.
Well, music that's for me, man. It's like first of all, music is one of the best things ever created in this world, and it's such a frequency type thing. But yeah, music. It means a lot to me, to be honest. It's a good question. No one's really asked, what does music mean to you? I'm like, I just like it, you know what I'm saying? But no, but music is great because it does so many things to captivate and catapult me in different areas of my life. And that can be something just like it turns me up in a way of inspiring me. It turns me up in a way of allowing me to have more creativity. It allows me to get emotions out. Like
Hmm.
I look at the scenes from Beauty in Black sometimes, and there was a scene that I posted the other day on Instagram that I had a tear come down my eye, and
Mm.
it's like I used to practice so much my emotional state back in the day, like 7 years ago, 6 years ago, because I knew, okay, I can do this right here in the acting, but I really want to get strong in my emotional state. And what I would do, listen to music. I would listen to music, listen to Frank Ocean, listen to Temptations, listen to songs that could get in touch a different, I guess, frequency in my spirit that allows these emotions to come out more freely and quickly. And music does so much because it just resonates with so many things that you can utilize in the real world. If I'm needing a pickup, I can use a song to pick me up. If I'm needing to feel strong and I need to get this workout in, I need to get this last set in, it literally, it's like a boost up. It's like
Mm.
a power boost. Really, it's like a literally a frequency power boost that can shift your mindset and shift your spirit and shift your physical in real time. You know what I'm saying? Kanye West just dropped an album. I remember I was doing pull-ups the other day and I needed to do two more damn reps. And it's like I just waited for this one part that gives me goosebumps. It's called Sisters and Brothers, the song called Sisters and Brothers. And then like literally I felt this jolt of energy hit my body and I was able to finish the reps. So what music does is just like a captivating amazing thing that God has allowed us to have. And it's just a thing that I've really, 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 really enjoyed.
Yeah. So your story, it includes a lot of uncertainty. we've kind of glazed along the surface, but from driving Uber to figuring it out in real time, how did those experiences reshape your relationship with pride and purpose?
To be honest, this is gonna be 100%. I'll be 100
Yeah,
percent.
yeah, yeah.
My mom is the apple of my eye. She's the one that has allowed me to, you know, be where I'm at today. And I think at a young age is where, see, the only thing about me is I'm a competitor. That's why I use my pride and ego. But with other things, when it comes to hustling, getting this bread, and
Mm-hmm.
and figuring out a way to make it and figuring out a way to have some money to your pockets, I ain't never really had pride at all with that. It's kind of crazy
Mm-hmm.
because I know some people do have pride, like, man, I play football, I can't live to see me like this. Like, I, I never cared. To be
Yeah.
honest, I never cared because it's like, see, my mother, you know, raised 5 kids by herself and see her do a lot of jobs. She never did any crazy jobs where she sold her soul or anything like that.
Mm.
Talking about jobs that she really hustled. Maybe it was cleaning my school. Maybe it was cleaning the stadium after the game. She created her own painting business. She was worked at Home Depot. She was doing so many jobs, and I never see her really complain. She just made it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, seeing that, and then seeing the God given talent that He's given me and the gifts He's given me, that was a combination for success right there. And that's just me being honest.
Yeah.
Because it's like you have the spiritual side, but then you see it's like God, that's why I praise God so much. Like I'm even talking to you right now, I'm like you like see things in real time. It's like he gave me somebody I could to really emulate and to really just learn from and to learn the hard work and the tenacity of this life. My mom is
Mm-hmm.
tenacious and she's one of the most tenacious people I met. That doesn't mean that we had the greatest relationship all the time because sometimes we did butt heads because we both tenacious. We both wanted, you know
Right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
So it's like sometimes we dip bump heads, but as you get older and you get more mature, you realize what she was doing. And now that I'm in this position, it's like, oh, that's why you would, oh, that, okay, I got it now. Bet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like with all that, the Uber and the working, and I've worked a lot of crazy jobs and done a lot of things to get some money. Nothing crazy, but it's like, okay, bet I might sell plasma. Okay, I might go here. I got to be a mover. I got to work at Hobby Lobby. I got to work at Walmart home office. I got to go direct TV, selling direct TV in the back of the Walmart and be like a little, I'm putting on a show like, hey, come get your direct TV from me. Like doing all these things. And I never gave a
Mm-hmm.
dang. I never gave a dang because it's like, I need money. I need a living. I gotta pay my
That's
bills.
right.
So it's like it's never been a private thing to me because it's like I never care. That's why I even shared that. I was like, yo, I think before this I would drive an Uber. I barely had because that's the truth. I barely had any money to my name. And Beauty and Black came and it's like flip the whole script. Now we got this much money. Like, ah, this is good. But it's like I did what I needed to do because I learned that from a young age from my mother. She hustles. She still grinds to this day. You know what I'm saying? I'm blessed to be able to
Right.
give her some money, but still to the point,
Yeah.
it's like she still wants to work. So I never been prideful, never had ego about any of these things because it's like it comes with the game. We know as actors, as we going into this craft, that hey, it's not no dang sprint, it's a marathon. And people think that
Absolutely.
that's what's wrong with a lot of people. Oh, I want to get rich, famous quick. I want to get rich quick. It's like, yo, this is a marathon. My life's been a marathon. Like I said, I played football, started playing sports at 6, 7, 5 years old. Now, Julian Horton, I'm hearing your radio station at 34. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
all those years, what was Julian Horton doing? I was grinding.
That's right.
I was
That's
hustling.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
And man, I find that like really admirable too, because it's like you said, it's an ever changing industry. You've been focusing like on the craft of wanting to be a great actor, but it's always a hustle and a grind. And I'm finding that, especially with things being so uncertain now in the industry, with it being oversaturated with a lot of different actors all over the country, that you have to keep that mindset and keep that pride in check.
You definitely do because it's like, especially nowadays, you know what I'm saying? And when I started acting in 2016, it was definitely not as saturated as it is now. Social
Right.
media wasn't as popping as it is now. And it's like everyone wants to do kind of the same thing type stuff. And it's just, it makes it even harder. And then 2020 comes and then COVID comes and the craziest year of our lives come type stuff. And it's
Hmm.
like, now, people used to have to move to LA to really get the in. So it's like you had to have the hustle to even get into the door. And nowadays that changed because now everyone does self tapes. So now someone from Austria, someone from Germany, someone from Morocco, someone from Kentucky, someone from Florida could all audition for the same part. How do you choose one person out of all those people? That's a lot to ask for a
Mm-hmm.
casting director to do. That's a lot to ask for a producer to do. That's just a lot to ask an actor to do. So to even get a part, there's no such thing as small parts. To even get a part is a blessing because it is so saturated. It is so overly just it's a tough business, but I don't even like saying tough business. I like speaking positivity, but it is.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen. It's people ask me, Julian, give me some tools to be an actor, man. What do I gotta do? I be like, sometimes when I tell them, like, I don't know, man. If you really don't got that grit and that dog in you,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be tough because you gotta have the dog in you. It's not has nothing. It gets past acting. It has nothing to do with acting now. It has nothing to do with acting. It's like, are you a dog or not? That's why I
Mm-hmm.
want to. That's why sometimes I want to ask people: are you a dog or not? Are you going to be a person that just wants to act? Like, I don't want to act. It's cool. No, no, no. It got to be spiritual.
Yeah.
It got to be a certain mentality behind this. It got to be a certain tenacity behind this. It can't just be, what I gotta do to be an actor? And there's gotta be, you gotta be a dog. Because there's gonna be a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times where you don't get the part. There's gonna be a lot of times you're gonna have to wait. There's gonna be a lot of times where you're gonna have to have that motor. I was telling my homeboy the other day, I said, bro, a lot of people just don't have that motor. I got the
Mm-hmm.
motor. I'm because I told myself at a young age, I was like, yo, I'm doing this and making it make it. See, a lot of people they give themselves too many B, C, D, E, F options. I've said no, it's only one option, you know. So that's my
Mm-hmm.
mentality, and subconsciously, that's been me my whole life. So it's like to get these things now. Yeah, I think God has given me great acting skills, and I'm able to convey great art on camera. But what I do know is He give me a mentality, though. He's giving me a
Mm-hmm.
mentality, and that's what I'm forever grateful for because it's the mentality. Yeah, but it goes back to the mentality, and that's why we talk about it's mentality, mentality, mentality. So it's just like, yeah, I'm going back to the question of like the ego and the pride thing. So yeah, I really just didn't have an ego and pride because I do know that it comes with it. Like you have to create because it seems like and I wasn't around. I mean, I was young in the '90s and young in the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I've heard from other actors and what I've heard from actors back in the day and stuff, it was like it was just different. I guess you could make it on residuals. I guess you could have more these working jobs. You might not be a Denzel Washington, you might not be a Halle Berry, you might not be a Jamie Foxx, but there's enough jobs because it wasn't saturated. The strike hadn't happened yet. There's just
Mm-hmm.
like you could work, get your money here, get your money here, get your residuals here, and it wasn't as grueling to where you needed another job and things of that nature. But nowadays you can go get an audition in January and not get an audition to May. And it's like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
what do you want actors and artists to do with that? Like, how do you expect people to live off that? And that's why I tell people all the time, like I said, if you really want to do it, I can give you the lessons in the game on that, but it's like you really got to want to do it because there's lapses in here that, like I said, you'll go from I got an audition February. I haven't got an audition since June, or I'm in auditions. And you know what I'm saying? It'll go like 4 or 5 months without no audition, no acting at all. And your job is to get better during that time, of course, to be prepared for the next audition. But yeah, it's just like it's not easy. It's definitely not easy, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
business that really tests you for sure. Especially if you people that really want to do it and really love it because there's so many things, and especially this is what I've learned as I gotten older too, especially a person who loves the arts, especially who's a person who loves athletics. It's like it really is like the small percentage has anything to do with the actual acting. A
Mm-hmm.
small percentage has anything to do with actually playing on the field. It has so much more to do with the business side of things, so much more to do with things that you can't control, so much things to do with the politics. So it's just like you learn that as you get older, like, oh, it doesn't really have to do anything with my acting. Yeah, it has something to do with this. So it's like it's a tough thing to swallow sometimes, and it's a thing you have to learn. And but like I said,
Right.
you have to really just like be a grinder for this. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have the mentality to really want to win, and then on top of that, be a great actor. So it's not
That's
easy.
right.
It's not easy at all. But like I said, that's what made me not egotistical or prideful about having these jobs because I knew that's what it came with it.
A lot of it, like we were talking about just a minute ago, a lot of actors, they wait for opportunity, and you seem to be building a larger vision for yourself. So, what does the Julian Horton brand ultimately represent to you?
Julian Horton brand represents what it represents to me is just like what I want people to take from it for real is just to it really is greatness. That's what I think it is. Greatness and resilience. That's what it means
Claim
to me.
that, man. Own
Yeah,
that. That's good. That's good.
greatness and resilience is what
Yeah.
the Julian Horton brand is. I think the things that God's, like I said, this always goes back to the investments that God's poured into me and poured in around me and honoring those investments. And I think that when you tap into those investments, you can find greatness. You can find peace in that. You can find joy in that. Because one thing I want people to take from the Julian Horton brand and from me is just like, hey, you can't let fear stop you. I'm a guy who's
Mm-hmm.
gone through anxiety. I'm a guy who's gone through panic attacks and intrusive thoughts and depression. I've gone through so many different types of emotions, but you cannot let it stop you. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
I want people to take from the Julian Horton brand and take from me is the fact that like you got to be stronger than the fear. You got to let the faith be stronger than the fear. You got to know that we have one life in this thing. And that's what I think a lot of people don't understand. We get one life, man. We get one. It's not like do-overs. We get one. We
Mm-hmm.
get a strong body, a very resilient body that can endure a lot, and God's given us that, but we only get one. And once it's over, it's over. So it's like a lot of people just like, and I see it in the world, let so many outside things and outside sources stop them. You know what I'm saying? It's so many
Mm-hmm.
things, and it's like goes so crazy. It's like, why is it stopping you? Well, I don't know what to do. I'm scared what they're gonna say. All these things. You know what I'm saying? And they
Right.
overthinking about all these things, right? And there's always looking at it like, are these people paying your bills? No.
Mm-hmm.
Are these people doing anything intimate with you and giving you a nice time? No. Are these people taking care of your dog and your kids and babysitting at your house? No. So it's like when you start really peeling back the layers and really understanding that a lot of the outside noise doesn't do anything for you, you
Mm-hmm.
realize like, you know what? I'm just gonna live my life and do what I want. And whatever the chips fall, that's what happens. And it's like that's why I took at a young age, at a very young age, say, you know what, man, I'm just gonna go for it. And
Yeah.
that's what I want people to see from the Julian Horton brand. Just go for it. Have faith and go for it. Because at the end of the day, it always comes back to God and death to me. That's my philosophy of life. It's like God and death, it comes down to that. Because it's like, what are you utilizing from what God's given you to the time you leave? And that's
Mm-hmm.
what it comes down to. That's really all that matters. Because it's like, once you really start to understand that, it's like, okay, it's always between me and God. Let me go get it. All the other stuff is just outside noise. All the other stuff is projection and fear from other people because they scared to do it because they see you do it. And now it gives them the opportunity to be in their mirror and be like, yeah, I know I can do it. But now they facing their fears, but they projecting on you because they scared to do it. And
Mm-hmm.
one thing I want the Julia Horton brand to do, and one thing I want to inspire people to do is just like, yo, like I said, go for it, man. Go for it. If God gave it to you, he gave it to you for a reason. Go for it. These people out here, some haters, man. These people
Mm-hmm.
out here, there's some real life, low frequency, downtrodden people out here in this world. It's for real.
Mm-hmm. That's
And if
real.
you allow them people to get in your psyche, your real estate of your mind, you can falter and be where they at, and you don't want to be where they at. You don't want to
Mm-hmm.
be. And I pray for those people. I hope they get better and take care of everything they got to do. But some people is doing bad mentally and will project their fear and hate on the others just because they didn't do it. And one thing I want
Mm-hmm.
to teach people, and one thing I want to inspire people to do is like, screw all that, man. Screw all that. I want to say something else, but FCC, screw all that stuff. Screw all that. Because it's like, yo, man, like I said, we only get one life in this world. It's like, yo, take what God gave you, honor the investment, go after it. Who cares if they say no? Because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is God's yes, and that's what it is with me.
Yeah. So you mentioned inspiring folks. So and wanting to give back and make an impact on young people. So what's something you wish someone had told you at 15 that you now feel responsible for passing on?
The answer will be don't let you get you in trouble. That's what I would say, and I can't say that 'cause I know it's FCC rules. But no, it's a lot of things I would say to the young youth though. It's like focus is optimal. Focus is optimal. It's key. It's imperative because
Mm-hmm.
me, I was very, and like I said, I'm here now, so I can be like, because a lot of people always ask me, like, yo, what would you give What would you tell your younger self you can give him advice, baby? I'm like, I wouldn't tell him anything. Because
Right.
I would let him go through the things because now it's allowed me to get here. You know what I'm saying? It's allowed
That's
me a lot.
truth.
That's I had to go through the ups and downs and like figure it out. You know what I'm saying? If someone would have told me, maybe I might have made a different decision and I end up here. I like where my life's at. So it's like it's very interesting when people ask me that, or like when I say give advice to somebody, because sometimes you gotta go through it. Because sometimes I've given advice to people and it's like, yeah. It's a good example of that is I don't know if you watch $1 million worth of game with
Hmm.
Gillian Wallow. They got the podcast over there, and it's
Right,
like
right.
Wallow. He's been in jail for years. He was in jail for years, and he always is giving advice to the rappers. Always giving advice to these guys, and he's giving solid advice. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like he's giving advice, and it's like, hey, just don't do that, and they still do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And they
Yeah,
still
yeah.
do what they want to do. And some of them are in jail right now as we speak. So it's like, and it's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? Because these brothers is talented, these brothers is great. And it's just like unfortunate sometimes the things that happen when people are telling you whatever, whatever. It's like people got to go through things to finally understand it. Sometimes you got to sit your butt down and be like, you know what? Da, 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 I got to do this right here, right here. So if I was going to tell anybody some advice, it would be just focus, man. Focus is key. Like, just focus on what you got to do. The parties is going to be there, the distractions going to be there. But it's like, if you really want to make it before you got to focus and give 100% energy to that focus. Yeah, you can have fun here or there, but it's like, focus, focus,
Mhm.
focus, focus, focus and belief, focus and belief, focus and belief. Because one thing you do when you focus, you're doing things like 95% of your peers aren't doing. They're doing
Mm-hmm.
this, they're doing that, they're doing that. So focus will be the key word that I would give to people. But then again, I'm always on the flip side of that. It's like, figure it out. Figure it out.
Right, right, right.
Figure it out. Cause it's like you give too much advice, people are like, man, I ain't trying to hear you over here. You talking too, man. I ain't trying to hear you, man. And it's like they ain't want to hear nothing. So then, okay, go figure it out. You gonna
That's
see.
right. That's
And
right.
sometimes life is the greatest teacher. And that's why, like I said, it goes back to the advice I would tell my younger self. It's like I had to figure it out. Because if people would tell me,
Mm-hmm.
my mom was like, you need to do this, that, this. I'm like, whatever, man. I'm going to this party, man. I'm going to this party, man. Where the girls at, man? And
Right, right.
then as you know, you end up in a situation you don't want to, and you're like, oh, man, I should have listened. I should have listened. But then in those moments, so you're learning right there. That's
Mm-hmm.
where the wisdom is formed right there. So that's why I'm always kind of just like always on the double-edged swords with this question, because it's like you have to go through things sometimes. You have to go through those L's, those lessons to
Right.
really understand what you are doing, how your life is going, and what you want your life to be. So yeah, man, I would say focus, but then on the other side, man, just live, figure it out,
And figure it out.
figure
Right.
it out, figure it
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah.
But in the mean, but the foundation under all that is trusting God, though, because I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what things with me is like. Yeah, I might have messed up and fallen off the path, but my faith was always there still. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I know. I told God, I know I'm messing up. I got to get back on that. I'm messing up. I
Mm-hmm.
felt the conviction. So that's a key thing. The foundation's got to be strong. That's one thing I will say about myself is like, despite going through these times and these times, the good times, the bad times, foundation's always been strong. God's always been there. You know what I'm saying? It's like God's like, all right, I'm telling you, like he's like a coach. He's like a coach almost. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, hey, you need to do this, and it's like, damn, we lost the ball here. Damn, we lost the game here. But it's still like it's still the coach. We got a long season, which is life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I've always had that foundation that was powerful, and that's what I would say to the kids too. Is like you got to have a strong foundation. The focus is good, living life is good, but if you don't got that foundation, you ain't got someone you can come back to talk about things with,
Mm.
and get shaky for real. Because I've
Yeah,
had
yeah.
times I've had so much anxiety, I'm going through emotional distress, and it's like, dang, but I know who I can count on though. Regardless, I know who I can count on and talk to get the anxiety out, to get this fear out. And then you feel a little bit better after that. And then you learn to move better after that. And then you learn to move differently after that. And that's why I talk about God a lot, because it really has nothing to do with being religious. It has nothing to do with none of that. It really just
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like he's just my spiritual coach, my spiritual guider, my spiritual father that's guiding me through this life, because it's like I couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do it. Like I said, it's Yeshua, man. It's like it's someone bigger than me leading this. You know what I'm saying? And once you understand that and, and sense that and feel that, it's like you have no choice but to talk about it, because it's like that's the only reason why I'm here. I can't act like, oh yeah. I'm sitting talking to you because I did something. Nah, nah. It's by grace and mercy that I'm here. It's about
That's right.
forgiveness. It's about forgiveness that I'm here. It's about love that I'm here. It's about him pouring into me that I'm here. His investments that he poured into me. That's why I'm here. So it's like, yeah, like I said, because I'm not perfect. I still got a lot of things I gotta work on. There's conviction that I feel. But me being a work in progress has nothing to do with God being the greatest still. Me being a
Yeah.
work in progress does not have anything to do with God being the Alpha and Omega. So at the end of the day, I still go to him. I still got things to work on. I'm still human. I'm still getting better. But it's like, it goes back to just having that foundational power, you know what I'm saying, that really anchors you in this life. And that's what I would tell people for sure.
Yeah. Love that, man. Julian Horton, where can everybody find you on social so they can keep up with what you're doing, man, and what you got to say?
Yeah, so Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, really everything. It's Julian Horton, the number 12. So Julian Horton 12.
All right. Julian Horton, man, thank you for your candor, man. Thank you for your story and for your faith, man. Really appreciate your time. Thank you for joining me on
No,
Black in the
I
Green
appreciate
Room.
you, man. I appreciate you,
Absolutely.
man. Good conversation. I feel like we just in barbershop talking, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man.
Yeah.
That's how I like to roll. It's just like that. Keep it right there.
Nah, it's amazing. I appreciate you so much, though, brother.
Thank you. Thank you, man. Be sure to follow me, Keith Underwood, at Mr. Keith L. Underwood on IG. You can also follow me on FB at Keith L. Underwood. And you know you gotta follow Black in the Green Room at Black in the Green Room across all platforms. Until next time, this has been Black in the Green Room.